はいどうも、おっさんでございます。ディスコエリジウムっていうゲームをやっていくんですけれども、えーっとねなんて言うんだろうな。まあ、フリップで、無料だったゲームなんですけれども、よいしょ。うーん、記憶を失った警察官が殺人事件と自分の記憶を失った理由、自分に何があったかって感じかなを調べていくゲームなんですよね。で、フリップであったからちょっと触った人も多いかもしれませんけれども、チェックを駆使っていうかチェックをしながら、サイコロチェックをしながらゲームを進めていくっていう感じのそうですね。で、これね、あんまり実況に向かないんですよね。あの政治的思想とか、そういう、なんつうんだろう、めんどくさい話が絡んでくるんで、見てる分にはつまんないかも、やってる分には楽しいんだけどね、ちょっと実況に向かないゲームとして、そこは理解しておいてほしいところかな。で、基本的にそうチェックが入るところっていうのが絶対必要なところがあるんで、リロードリロードしていく形になります。で、ここは欲しいってところをできるだけね、リロード、そこだけリロードするようにしていくんで、ご容赦をって感じかな。結構うるさいんだよね。さて、で、なんて言うんだろう。自分の思考を概念化するとか、そういう、なんか、いろいろなものがあるんで、ちょっと難しいんですよね。あれ、どうした？おー、びっくりした。で、アーキタイプを作成。これ、BGM がちょっと抑えられるな。そしたら、これ、ちょっと始めてみようか、これで。うるさいけどね。OK。で、思想家神経質、肉体派とあって、それぞれ知力、精神、体力、これは、あれかな、パラメータがあるんですけど、知性、精神、体、肉体、運動能力か。で、これはね、もう決まってるんですよね、基本的に。で、ゲームを有利に、進めていく。要は経験値とかを上げていくために必要なステータス、その思考っていうのがあって、それを優先していくんで、最初はね、ちょっとこれでいきます。で、この得意スキルに設定っていうのがあってね、これで得意スキルっていうのが1個上がるんですね。で、基本的にこう耐久の方に追っていきます。ただね、ちょっとね、これ続けるかどうかわかんないんで、このゲームをですね。なので、ちょっとお試し配信って感じでね、 ストーリー的にはアドベンチャー的な感じ。調べるとこ調べて操作を進めたり、操作に関係ないところを進めたりとかしていくんですけれども、その自分の内面の精神と話すっていう描写があるんですよね。それで、スキルチェックをしていって、有利に元を進めていくかって感じです。
There is nothing, only warm primordial blackness. You're conscious ferments in it, no larger than a single grain of malt. You don't have to do anything anymore.
こんにちは。
あ、ロアさんこんにちは。そこには何もない、生温かい。これね、これが精神と会話なんですね。
Ever. Never, ever.
これで
Never, ever, ever, baby.
ここは何選んでも基本
And
的
an
にはいいんです
ordinary
けど、
time passes. It is utterly void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained within it. An awareness creeps up on you. A mass lies hidden in your dead angle, soaking in some lurid acidic sauce. It's bloated and shameful. A ball of meat surrounding you. This is a terrible line of questioning, and it will only lead to more awareness of the meat. Ex-love, ex-tenderness. It is foolish of you to resurface to the loss. Not after all the damage you've suffered to get here. Some of it irreversible. Stay. Sail with me through the abyss of pelagic zone. Alright, nothing down to fuck all borough. Great choice, Elder One. It has always been like this, and it always will. The song of death is sweet and endless. But what is this? Somewhere in the sore, bloated man meat around you.
これはね、セリフを読んでいくとちょっと長くなるから、
Like a fly
自
to
分
the
の、
ointment, your
読みたい
conscience
場合
sticks
は
to
ストッ
it.
プで
The
一時停
limbed
止してもらっ
and
て
headed machine of pain
読ん
and
でもらうのが最適か
undignified
な。
suffering is firing up again.
You can take it. You're a
これで
champion.
今のがチェックですね。意志力っていう精神のコマンドじゃねえな、精神の種類でチェックしていくんですね。で、この意志力が言ったことが基本的にヒントになります。で、成功して大丈夫だ、耐えられる、お前はチャンピオンだって言ってるから、こうチャンピオンだっていうやつを選んでいけば大体いいことになっていく。
rises from your mouth, and with it, an ungodly headache. A fiery streak penetrates your skull, trying to force your eyes open. It's a sound, a clarion call from hell.
これがチェック。
Somehow, you know what it is. A Caprice Canadian motor carriage. はい、このパンツ一丁で転んでた人間が主人公ですね。で、左下に主人公の顔があるんですけど、さっき伝えた通り記憶がありません。完全な記憶喪失ですね。で、自分が何者かっていうのも分かっていない状況でのスタートになります。
さて、基本的に、よいしょ、これが精神面ですね。要は、こいつらと会話していくんですね。で、それぞれレベルが設定されてあって、高ければ高いほどサイコロでのチェックが、簡単になっていると。で、こうやって低いやつは、もうサイコロチェックがほぼほぼ厳しくなっていきます。で、ですね、そうだな。こうやって調べられるところがハイライトされるんで、これを調べていくんですけど、最初にね、どうしてもね、欲しいやつがあって、未死体験ってやつと、実質的芸術学っていうのが欲しいんで、ちょっと攻略を無視してそれを取りに行きます。でまずスキルチェックを上げるために必要な衣類を拾っていきます。これで、全て入手としてディスコグレーのブレザーで、足元に落ちてるズボンで、風呂場の白シャツで、これでこのオレンジオーブっていうんですけどね、このを調
You
べ
hear
る
a
と、
jingle. Keys are clinking in the pocket of your flare-cut pants. It says whirling in rags
鍵発
on
見
the aluminium keyring.
で、それぞれ衣類とかあるんですけど、これがね、ズボンが最角プラス1、電気プラス、最角マイナス1か。で、電気プラス1とか。これでステータスの方を上げ下げできるんですね。で、これによって、よいしょ。ジャケット、ズボンでいいかな。最角がマイナス1して電気価格がプラスされてるんで、最角っていうのが、こっちの方かな。これが1位減ってます。で、電気工学っていうのがプラスされて3になってます。っていう風に衣類で、ステータスを上下できるようになってます。で、よいしょ。まあ選べるのが今のところこの2つしかないんで説明できないけど、まあ説明できるようになったら、やろうかね。で、よいしょ。鍵を開けて外に出ます。で、一旦セーブしとこうか。で、この女性とまず会話。
The young woman raises a cigarette to her lips.
No.
There's only one solution to this. You're a businessman.
で、
The young woman shakes her head slowly.
No. You're a police officer, sir.
で、自分が警官っぽいっていうのがこれでわかります。
I am, yes. Unless you've been feeding us a set of very well-rehearsed lies all this time. You've been here for 3 days. On official police business, no less. Couldn't say. In truth, so far, mostly drinking.
で、警察官で、酒飲みっていうのがこの情報で分かれたことで、で、これですね。これがチェックです。サイクロチェックが入ります。で、これの成否で会話の成功失敗、行動の成功失敗がかかってくるんですね。で、これ暗示っていうステータスの方のチェックになるんで、で、自分今暗示が3しかないんで、それから 28% でちょっと低めなんですね。
The
は
words
い、
have already
赤くなる
left
と
your
失敗で
mouth.
す。
What was that? That's not even
で、
how words are
この
used.
人と会話は
What-
必
Come
須じ
on,
ゃないん
man.
で、
Freddy,
とっとと
please. One more time. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
She looks back at you, a light glinting off her eyes.
Goodbye.
よいしょ。で、さあ、これで人物が数人います。で、調べるところがいろいろあるんですけれども、ちょっと必要なスキルを取りたいんで、この辺は全部無視します。で、この人、キムっていうんですけど、相棒ですね、警察、殺人事件を調べるためにの相棒とお話しして、それの前にセーブしとこうか。で、よいしょ。スキルチェックをちょっと失敗しなきゃいけないところがあるので、白シャツ外して会話します。
A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor. Looks like he's waiting for someone. As you approach, he narrows his eyes and if an assault were launched on this building right now, if the windows came crashing down and the whole world descended upon you, this man would hurl himself in death's way to save you. You are sure of this.
結構ね、わけわかんないことを喋ってくるんですよね。なので、あんまり
Hello.
気にしないよう
I'm
にしてるんだけど。
Lieutenant, Prison 57.
You realize he's waiting for your name.
で、この紫色のやつが
This
チ
is
ェ
your
ック入
chance
り
to
ます。
come up with a really good name for yourself. Get creative. Conceptualize.
で、名前を聞かれて、このキムスっていう人が警部補の、所属は57分署で、自分が41分署ってところなんですね。で、さっきも言ったように記憶がまるでないんで、要は自分がなんでそこで倒れてたのか、真っ裸だったのか、そこの部屋にいたのかっていうのを全然理解できてません。で、これのスキルチェックが入るんですけど、これです。名前を考案するよいしょ。これをね、失敗を狙わなきゃいけないんですよね。成
Concentration
功しちゃ
makes
い
you
ました。
squint your eyes. Your name should be deep gold and orange, like a forest fire
で、
looming on the
これ
horizon,
で、
but mixed
これを
with the
成功
stench
し
of
ちゃう
liquor
と、
rising from your breath. You're 2
自分の
steps
名前
closer
が
to it,
わ
but
から
they
な
are
いま
still.
ま話が進むんですね。
A bespectacled as you. If an assault were launched,
Hello.
you realize this is your chance to come up with a really good name. Raphael
よし、失敗。
Ambrosius Cousteau.
これで、ラファエル・アンブロシウス・クストでいこうっていう、疑念家っていう 精神が偽名を提案するんですね。で、それに乗ります。
Yes, well.
で、これでね、思考コストを掲示っていうのが、後々獲得できるんですね。で、結構これがいい思考なので、ちょっとここも取っていきました。
Not for a moment does he believe that's your real name. He casts it aside as an intra-departmental joke or a peculiarity he doesn't.
It looks like we had a little scheduling error on Sunday. Saturday too, actually. Have you had time to talk to the manager here?
で、ここの店長と話したかっていうのは要は聞き込みですね。
What he means is, he has been trying to meet up with you for 2 days, but you have been otherwise occupied.
で、自分がどういう警察官なのかっていうのがこの辺の行動で決まっていきます。嘘つき警察官になるのか、不正警察官になるのか、正義の警察官になるのか的な。で、まあ記憶自体がないんで話したか話してないかなんて覚えてないです。聞き込みしたかどうかなんてね。なのでどれ選んでも基本的には正解なんですけど、今後の展開に反応して変わってくると。
Then we should ask him for a rundown of the area. Get me up to speed. I understand the scene is out back, right? It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews? At the 57th, we like to prepare an initial list of persons of interest, and then just skim the surface. Prepare the field, get to know the players. Good. But even if you haven't, we'll have time for that. Have you removed the dead body from the tree? Mm-hmm. So, the body is still...
This is the first time you detect a weariness in the lieutenant's...
where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner. I can see you drank last night and the night before, and that you are still drunk now. But I have seen officers go through worse. Much worse.
酔っ払ってる状態、酩酊してる状態だと思ってるんです、ね。
If you need something for your headache, there is a general store nearby. But as I said, the dead body should be our... After you, officer.
タスクが発生しました。
If you're about to embark on an investigation, shouldn't you have a badge?
You mean you don't have a badge? Losing your identification card is a serious matter. My vehicle has a shortwave. You can use it to report.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is now in your party. You can talk to him whenever by interacting with him.
で、タスクに何をすべきかっていうのがいろいろ出てくるんですね。で、マッチ紛失カフェテラ中に事情聴取、医師会社の遺体を調べる。これらが出てきます。で、次に、よいしょ。女性との会話。この人ですね。よいしょ。
Hello, sweetie.
Wait, who's Sweetie?
Why, you are, officer. You're a handsome man, officer, with your mustache and your chiseled jaw and that silly dimple on your chin. You must forgive me. I'm getting so scatterbrained. I completely forgot to introduce myself. I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but...
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew. Hire her on the spot.
で、これで記憶喪失が
Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Like a stunned fox. But surely things can't be that bad. Oh my. You know where we are, right? That's right. And where is the Whirling in Rags cafeteria itself located? We're in the city of Revshol, dear.
で、ここでワークリング・イン・ラグスっていう店の名前と、レバーショールっていう町の名前がわかります。
Yes, and Revshol? How would I even begin to tell you? Revshol is the most beautiful city in the world. I haven't seen very many other cities personally, but everyone says so. Revshol is a rare jewel. This city used to rule the world, though it has seen better days. Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes? There. The year is 51, and spring has only just started. I'm sure there are better days ahead.
The lieutenant studies you, rubbing his chin. I'm beginning to suspect that you might indeed be completely adrift in this reality, thinks the lieutenant.
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government? Nope, sadly not. Revshol is what's called a zone of control, under an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition. We have no government of our own, and what democracy we have is...
Meaning, buying is voting.
Oh dear, this is troubling. You really are. But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break.
She's scared now. She's realized you really are brain damaged.
これでいろいろ質問していくんですけれども、でタスクがまだ発生してないんだよね。
You didn't do too well, dear.
A sigh. The lieutenant buries it.
But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what we're...
She means this sincerely. Worrying won't do you any good.
A defeat. It has something to do with it.
I'm just a poor woman, she thinks.
Someone more educated in sweeping, Matt.
No. I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide
で
either.
これで、
I'm a detective.
Of
よ
course.
し出てきたね。
Then I
タ
don't
スク
know.
現実について
Someone
知れ。
rich, maybe? Wealthy people are educated. Though I don't know where you
これ
would
で
find a
会話
wealthy
終了し
person.
ます。
Of course, dear.
この3つが今のところタスクですね。やるべきところ。で、いろいろこの人教えてくれるんですけど、後回しして外に出ます。で、今自分は一文なしなんですね。なので、お金も稼がなきゃいけないんですね。で、よいしょ。こいつを拾って このビニール袋これで空き缶で空き瓶を拾えるようになります。でこれを売ってお金にすることができますで必要な概念化を取るためにジョイスという女性とお話ししていきます。その間、会話とかものを調べることで経験値が入ってきてこの辺のレベルが上げることができるんですけど、その経験値を一気に引き上げるためのスキルかなって言ってしまえばそれを取りに行きます。
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets.
まずは自己
Good
紹
morning,
介から。
officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM. I'm glad to see you here. I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. The lieutenant is hatching some scheme.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines Group.
さて、パインズ、ワイルドパインズっていう会社かな。で、いろいろ不便していることを伝えていかなければいけない。
Why, yes, I am. Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
で、この人と話していくといろいろと分かっていくんですけど、
I haven't seen anyone else.
Actually, that motor carriage has been it's for crossing long distances in the greater Ravachol industrial harbor.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's...
You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around on this boat because she's
これで
rich.、
また内面との会話が入ってくるんですね。
Why what? Stop thinking. Take her down. You're not? Okay then. Just keep on admiring the boat then.
The boat? No. It is called Cordelati 19 because that's the type of sloop it is. It's a pleasure craft. A 19 pacer. It also has my sloop.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has solid...
I really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her.
Good. What we do?
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping, and that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platform.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo tribes remain.
で一旦ちょいちょい出てくるのがこのインスリンデ族ですね。つまり企業の一つだと。
Son Baptiste, LUM, an unknown entity known as Brightest Star.
Why, thank you. I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell
これ
you
リア
that
ルっ
last
ていうや
year
つが
the
お
company
金
put
の
more
単位
than
ですね。
A billion?
$20 billion is a conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like they started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the
これの辺は
Samaran.
歴史と
Centuries of
文
care,
化だ
dedication,
ね。
and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it. You know more than you let on. Certainly it helped, but most of the original Indo tribes have failed or been absorbed. To survive, Wild Pines had to grow and adapt. No suzerain did that. You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo? There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over.
さて、
I'm here to assure
今
that
会
doesn't
話の途
happen.
中ですけど、今思考を獲得しました。この15番目のインスリンデ族というやつですね。で、これを、内面化しないことには、効果がないんですね。要はこの辺の、ものとこの辺の、精神とかを、底上げしてくれる能力なんですね。で、この辺のよいしょやつっていうのは内面化して有利なものと不利になっちゃうものっていうのがあるんですね。でしかもこの今んとここの3つこれアンロックしてないんで、これ以上は3つしか、内面化できないんですね。でこの、インスリンデ族15番目のインスリンデ族っていうのがよいしょ、基本的にねこれが、よいしょ平成っていうのをマイナスさせちゃうんですね。でその代わりに、ボーナス、要は内面化が成功した後は拾える空き缶とかが増加するんですね。でお缶の最大レベルが6になります。最大レベルっていうのが一番左になる知性、精神、肉体、運動能力ってやつなんですけど、それの設定した数値でしか底上げできないんですね。要はレベル4までしかいけないと。なんですけれども、これを内面化することによってお缶に関しては、お缶っていうのがどこだったかな、最大これだ、レベル6まで上げることができますよと。で、時間経過っていうのが移動とかではできなくて会話かな。基本的に会話で時間経過していくんですけど、それを時間が 何時間って決まってて、これ5時間55分かけて、こいつを内面化したら有効に、初めてそこから有効になりますっていう。あ、これはあれだな、オーブの方だな。おっと。で、よいしょ。まあちょっと話を戻しましょうか。で、内面化すると。で、今ここ 0% っていうのがついたんですけど、これが時間経過によって増えてきます。
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Aliments. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus. Why? By throwing off half a century of foreign domination under the coalition. Unfortunately for you, the
You'd be shooting yourself in the foot, in other words.
But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike. I believe the official title is Senior Labour Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
で、この、よいしょ、ワイルドパインズっていうところは、今、ストライキ中と。で、ストライキをなんとか収めたいんだけれども、責任者と話すのに、男が一人立ちふさがってると。
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
で、交渉がストライキのせいで打
This
ち
isn't
切ら
the
れてる
first
と。
time the union has...
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union...
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
Mr. Clare told... Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature. Yes. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before. And who was more than...
Sounds like usual aggressive posturing.
There are leaflets everywhere. Every worker. And
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
in its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker a member of the board. Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of... Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, they're having a blast. I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume... And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in...
Excuse me, from whom did you hear?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, call me mañana.
This checks out.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal... Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for... It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in... The Débardeurs Union was once a organised labour at its best, as they...
A mob. The debarders are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be,
いろいろ
Refreshingly
な思
honest,
惑が
officer.
絡まってるんです
The
ね。
company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his And your opinion, detective, if I may ask. I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Debardeurs Union is... Why do you think so? I suppose you are, officer. All Revachol. But enough about Everard. What else can I tell you about? I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union.
disappeared.
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. End of story. Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines, the point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Of course. How else can I help? Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
タスク、これ一つ完了しました。これはシークレットタスクって出ましたけど、要は誰かから話を聞いて発生するタスクなんですね。で、その誰かの情報を聞かずに達成すると、こういうシークレットタスクになります。
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi, and this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
で、基本的にはここは真面目に答えていきます。
Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by...
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize. But I'm afraid I simply can't share anything
さあ、
more
こ
until
れ
I've
でリ
seen
ー
that
チに関
badge.
するジョイスの情報っていうのが発生します。で、何かを伝えたがってるけどバッジを見せなければ教えてくれないと、もしくは彼女のために何かしてやれば打ち解けてくれる。要はこの人からちょっと聞き込みをしなきゃいけないんですね。
She's a professional negotiator.
で、
She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
これを、実行しないといけないんですね。成功するか。
She's a
成功。
negotiator. Just float a favor at her. Insinuate.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
要はハーブ、要は、麻薬系かな。で、それがターミナル B から発送してるんじゃないかと。で、それを、
They're profiting from this trade.
組合
The
自体
company
は
has tried looking into this matter before,
そ
to
れで
no
儲けを
avail.
出っていると。
Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones. Or you can recover your badge Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds...
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
で、これで一旦キムとお話ししなきゃいけなくなっちゃう。左下のキム、てんてんてってってついてるけど、これでキムと一回話さなきゃいけないんだけど、無視して話を進めていきます。
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
で、選択項目が増えてるんですけれども、よいしょ。現実世界のことに関して話していきます。
This reality.
Yes, reality is your side case. An experimental side case.
How truly curious. A sort of philosopher detective.
うーん、どっちでもいいのかな、こっちは。
Are they now?
A deep synthesis. I'll assist you however I can then. Go ahead. Ask.
現実について知れのタスクが更新。
Alright, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
ここはどこなんだっていう。
We're in Martinez, baby. Martinez is a district of Revachol. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the revolution. I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once. This place used to be a province. It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean. Yes, we're on an island in an ocean. The world...
Known to the early Revacholians as Les Immensités Bleues. Vast, lukewarm and unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
ここは軍曹
Caillou,
と
as you already know. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed over pebble amidst a great blue sea. Misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the river Esperance. We're in the delta of this river on the 6th branch. The Martinez distributary.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her, and to humanity at large.
Revachol? Revachol is what you call a city. The great kind.
As if it's self-explanatory, beyond patriotism, a fact.
History detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Seminine and Ile-Marat in the DeLorean century. 380 years ago. They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. The stuff of men. We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money is. I think it's fair to say so. Martinez is about 22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government in Cylindian Mission Command.
ではここは連合っていう名前の政府ですね。
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time. There is no recognition, only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
全く見覚えのない景色って出てるから一
We
切見
are
覚えない
where
景
we
色
are.
さ
I
あ
have no truer answer to give, unfortunately.
今、獲得しましたね。未体験現実感喪失。これですね。これが経験値を上げてくれるやつですね。これを内面化します。で、使用時間は3時間25分。これを内面化が終了しないと実際の効果は発揮されないので注意ですね。
This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you?
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something.
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory... Might I suggest not asking them all right now?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
It's better not to eat all your candy at once.
Indeed. I'm always at your service.
さて、ハーブ取引について、話していきたいんだけど、この辺全部チェックしていこうか。ホワイトスキルチェックとレッドスキルチェックっていうのがあるんですね。で、これホワイトスキルチェックは該当するスキルを上げれば、再度チャレンジできます。で、レッドスキルチェックっていうのは1回こっきりのチャレンジですね。で、まず結論の方に向かいましょうか。
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know.
ハーブ取引の方。
It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to...
Ingredients for what?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff. Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the union does not produce it. Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and...
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
で、貨物トラックのことかってヒントを出してくれてるで、トラックのことかと。
Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers. I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
で、いろいろ聞こえるんですけれども、
Yes? Excellent.
引き受けます。
According to my reports, there are at least 3
渋滞
lorry
ミステリー
drivers
というタ
lingering
ス
near
ク
the
が
roundabout.
発生。
Hopefully one of them will know something.
で、これが出てんで
It、may come to nothing,
この人
or
には
it
と
may
りあえ
just
ずは
blow the case. In the
用
meantime,
なし
let
で
me
す。
know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
で、現実について知れがまだあれなんですけど、 とりあえずは必要なものを取っていきたいんで、よいしょ、会話は終了して次に移ります。
Of course, Detective.
で、次にここのシンディとお話しする必要があります。これがスカル族不良少女ですね。シンディとのお話。
The streets will flow red once more, a great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested, and here I was trying to be polite. Just can't win with you pigs.
ここでいう豚っていうのは刑事のことですね。なので、警察にはかなわないと。まあ差別用語ですな。で、壁をどうするつ
Can't
も
you
り？
tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aerial graffiti. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words. Yeah? Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me now that I have an official RCM.
She means the opposite. You've lessened her desire to deface the building.
これで芸術フラグというのが立
Watch
つら
your
しいんで
back,
すね。
ungulate.
で、ちょっと下に行って、ここのところで壁を調べます。
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
ここは失敗でも成功でも、芸術フラグが発生するんで。
You have no clue. So many walls all over Martinez.
これで
Weather worn,
失敗し
cracked,
てホワイト
their
チェック
paint
なんで
peeling.
2回目いけるんですね。で、概念化っていうのが、低いせいで、概念化のスキルポイントを振れば、もう1回チェックできると。で、次にアネット、書店のこと会話します。で、この子と話す際に概念化のレベルが4以上でないとフラグが立たないんですね。で、概念化っていうのがこれですね。
Hello, sir. Step right in.
Orega
I know,
hoda.
sir. Are you interested in a
Kwa
new?
doyu
It's a
mise nan
bookstore,
da
sir.
to?
We sell books, postcards, and some board games.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold your horses, little girl.
本
That
と
is a book. They have stories inside them. It's like someone told you a story in a really long letter. A
絵はが
postcard
きと
is a small cardboard picture. You can
She is unfazed by your questions. She would consider it impolite to point out any perceived
ボードゲーム
weirdness.
Board games are like little games on a table, made to pass the time. There are several different ones, but sailors here mostly buy cards. My pleasure. Anything else you'd like to know?
少し質問していいかと。
Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books.
犯罪
Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals. It's exciting to people, I guess. They get to imagine dangerous things, and it's kind of like a puzzle, where you can guess who the criminal is or how the good guys are going to catch him. You don't look much like a policeman.
見た目の
Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen.
で、そいつに似てるやつなんて存
She
在し
looks
ない。
at Dick Mullen, frowning. Dark, arrogant, violent. Like he isn't even drawn right.
で、もっと言えば絵がおかしい。
She examines the picture, trying to find whatever is wrong with it. She then
警官ら
shrugs.
しくも
Sure
ない。
you can, sir. He's just a fictional character. He'll be no match for you. Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
で、立ち去ります。今ので、芸術フラグが3回目。で、お後で、この人と会話。会話開始。
I am a gander and a hunter and a gatherer. Feel like a traveler.
A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
俺が
You
法だ。
sure are, my man.
何があったの
It's
か
the jam, my man. It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout.
あんたのスタイル気に入ったよっていうのが演劇5以上なんですよね。で、とりあえずは演劇フラグがまだ立たないんで、よいしょ、こっち。
Everyone's a critic, man. It's okay. I've been here a whole week already. So tell me, what do you need?
で、ルイスからハーブの、依頼を受けてるんで、ハーブに詳しそうだなの
Ah,
選
man.
択。
Me and narcotics go way back.
これが出てきます。
Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own, but those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man?
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration. Gotta guard the stuff. Bosses don't look kindly on missing cargo, and it gives me time to work on my rhymes.
A rhymesmith. This is quite credible. It goes with its cadence.
Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here.
We wouldn't say he's lying, sire.
さて、これを成功しないといけないんですね。
Your
はい、
best
スパイ
verb.
最初に戻る。芸術4以上欲しいけど4ないもんな。あ、5以上か。今芸術っていくつなんだろう。芸術どこだ。ないね。 演劇になるのかな。まあとりあえず必要なんで進めていくしかないんだけど。よいしょ。もうパッパといきます。
You sure are, my man. It's the jam, my man. It's a traffic jam for the ages. Meanwhile, we're all stuck. Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Everyone's a critic, so tell me, what do you need? Ah, man, me and narcotics. But those days are behind me.
We have a credible lead, sir.
Not me, man. Gotta guard the stuff.
A rhymesmith?
Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of rev.
We wouldn't say he's lying, sire. Your best.
ういよ。いやー、いかんな。
A simple little.
You sure are, my man. It's the jam. It's a traffic jam. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in law. Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here round. Everyone's a critic, so tell me, what do you need? Ah, man. But those days are behind me. There are.
We have a crit.
Not me, man. No. Gotta guard the stuff.
A rhymesmith?
Look, man,
We wouldn't say he's lying, sire. Wait.
成功。
There's something here, stored away in some dusty corner. It starts like.
よいしょ。
Whoa. What else? Silent communion. That's good. Dang. That's some great shit. You came up with that yourself. Fucking hey.
これで
Seems I got you all wrong.
芸術フラグ4。
Cops aren't much known for their artistic sensibilities these days. It's good to meet a fellow poet. Someone with an appreciation for
詩があ
real
るから
text.
辛くても耐えられ
The
る。
others here, so you don't
これで
really... I
芸
get
術
you.
フラグ5。
When they really click, it makes the world seem manageable.
You found some common ground with this man. Even impressed him. The next time you look in the mirror, though, remember those words.
で一旦終了
Don't be a stranger.
で自分のとこにオブが立つんでこれで自分の中と会話
Why does art inspire you so much? Excellent question. Art is a diverse range of visual, literary, auditory, and performative creativity. In short, art is the highest form of human communication, representation, narrative. Have you looked in the mirror lately? You have the exact features of a savage art critic, with that beard and those clothes, disheveled and prophetic. Perhaps you should try to critique architecture too. Yes, you seek substance. No vapid representations and reproductions of social mores as made manifest in stuffy biennials. We're talking real, living art here. Become the art cop. Half art critic, half cop. Exactly. It's not only your duty to only catch the criminals of the street. You must also apprehend criminals of the printing press and the gallery, the trite and derivative artists and writers of the world.
これを内面化します。
Go ahead and provide savage criticisms, art cop.
さて、ここまでで欲しいやつは全部取りました。 さて、こっからは戻ります。普通に進めていきます。まずは最初の部屋に戻って、よいしょ。
This fan has two chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. Or has it been consigned there as punishment? You feel as though this creature is your friend and wants to reattach itself to your neck so that you may continue your adventures together in this strange world.
ネクタイを掴んでみましょうか、一回。
You reach out to grab the tie, but this is bad. Feels like sharps for quite a lot, still ongoing. Finally, the pressure recedes. The blades come squeaking to a halt. It should be easier to reach the tie now. You swoop up and catch the tie. What you have in your hand is a fantastically colorful tie with 4 or 5 different patterns. If it's your friend, why was it up there? Who ties their friend to a ceiling fan? An ominous, foreboding feeling fills you as you look at.
無駄に体力が減ったね。ネクタイ、こいつがよく喋るんですよね。よいしょ。で、鏡の方が、よいしょ。
A mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. In a fierce discharge, hot water sprays from the base and steam covers the mirror. Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor.
自分の顔を一切思い出せない。なので、左下の自分の顔がああいう状態なんですね。
Even the world you're in has drowned in a sea of blood alcohol. This was no mere night of drinking. It was as you slowly reach your hand. Abort. You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it. Behold. You have no idea who this thing is, do you? Too late. You clearly have rigor mortis on your face. Oh wait, is that an expression? Please stop. It's horrible. You're scaring yourself. Oh my God. You can't stop. It's like it's not even, what does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey? You should check yourself for a pulse, because from here it looks like a cadaverous spasm. Getting clever appears to make the expression even worse. Now it's mixed with smugness. Like the rest of you, it comes from a bad place somewhere in the past. That's all you, it's too late. Like an...
はい、今は鏡を放っておく。
Kim also tries not to look at the pile of taped viscera on the carpet, or the weird suitcase on the hat rack, or the potted plant dying in the corner. But it's all just too morbid to ignore. He nods. He takes a step toward the door. like he'd
部屋の惨状を見て残念なことになってると。で、これで瓶を拾っていけると。あ、ファンだこれ。以上かな、瓶拾えるのは。ここもあるね。オートセーブが入るタイミングがよくわかんないな。さあ、これで靴の片っぽが手に入ります。左足。あとはもう片方を探すだけだ。ここは以上かな。あ、出ちゃったけど、まあいっか。あ、ガラスについて見てないな。まあいっか。さて、これで両足揃いました。で、効果のほどは平静がプラス、才覚がマイナス。才覚がマイナス2になってるな。大変だ。
There they both are. Two identical shoes. Both copied like two baby crocodiles. It's pretty clear. Good. They're balanced. Comfy.
で、シークレットタスクの方で、靴を探せというのが終了。さて、これでお金を拾いました。ただ、40リアル、要は40セント、0.44 ですか。ここはいいとして、ここと、階段か、これ。本当はこのオーブも内面化が終わってから触りたいんだけどね。
You should totally sing karaoke here. The first chance you get. Your
カラオ
emotions
ケを
need to
歌
be
えと。
expressed. People need to know your vast oceanic soul. Utterly. And it needs to be heard through a PA system. By other people. You have not yet stumbled on the right lamentation, but it's out there. It'll come to you. You will wreak havoc with it. No, no. Don't sing the happy song. You have to find something tragic to sing first, though.
カラオケを歌え、悲しい曲の入ったテープを手に入れろ。さて、ノサフェド、これで体力回復ができると。
On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine. The man does not mind. You probably need them more than he does.
You've just picked up some magnesium. This item is stored in the bottom left corner of the screen above your character portrait. Use magnesium to heal your morale if you have morale damage.
これらがゼロになるとゲームオーバーになります。で、これホワイトスキルチェックだけど失敗の確率が高いんで放置。で、どうしようか、おばあちゃんから話すか。いや、もう聞き込みしていくか。
A man in his late 20s with a thin, unimpressive beard notices you approaching. Could he be irritated with you? He avoids eye contact altogether, like you're not even there.
Mr. Gart, right? You run this place.
Yes.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation, so joining me from Precinct 41? Right. Now, I know it took us a while to arrive at the scene. It also took you a while to call us and report the dead body. It was you who placed the call, yes?
No, I only just got here. It was probably Sylvie who called you. She usually works the bar here. I'm only temporarily taking over her duties.
Do you have her number?
As a matter of fact, I do.
通報したのは誰だ。シルビーと連絡取り、彼女が通報したかどうかを尋ねる。通報者も判明してないんだね。
You said you just got here. From where? Are you a local?
What, of Martinez? No, I live in Jamrock. I only sometimes come here to keep an eye on the place. This is just one of the many, many cafeterias I manage.
But you still know your way around, yes? In case we need directions.
Yes, I know where some things are, but as I said, I don't live here. I just used to work here, and I'm not going to start...
I didn't imply that. Detective.
He probably means this is where you step in and ask your questions. His face expresses profound doubt in your having this.
Behind this building, there's a courtyard. They hoisted him up on a tree there. That's easy. See that door there? First you exit through that. Then to your right, you should see a big hole in the fence. A really big one. You can...
Does he want you to feel guilty of making that hole? It's implied in his voice.
I don't know who killed him. I'm not the police. That's your job. What are you, crazy? Of course I didn't kill him. She went away because none of your business.
Have they not been telling you you're a cop?
Okay, you got me. She went away because of the dead body out back. And because I asked for her number. That's why Sylvie went away. I hope you appreciate that.
Thank you.
I asked an employee out. She didn't want to come, but felt obliged to. It was a bad idea. Now, what is so goddamn fascinating about that for you? It's got nothing to do with the lynching.
Hmm. 要は雇用主が、バイトにデートに誘って嫌われちゃって辞めちゃったと。
Forget it. No, I'm not the bartender. I'm the cafeteria manager.
Manager.
He's very animated all of a sudden. This is clearly a touchy subject for him.
I hope it is.
俺に不満があるのか?
Why would I have a problem with you? You're a hero cop.
皮肉を言うのはやめてくれ。
Am I? Or did you ride in, take the body down, solve the murder, and not trash my hostel room? You're right, you didn't. And it's only taken you 3 days not to. No, I haven't seen you around. I just got here, remember? Was there anything else?
Let's go.
Not so fast. You owe me 130 real.
門なしに130レアルを払えと。
No one is saying the multi-pattern necktie you found tied to the ceiling fan can talk. No one. It must be merely imagination.
Let's bail! Time to push the eject button! Sounds like a responsibility! You don't like those!
Oh, excuse me. You owe me 130 real.
The IIR, or Inter-Isolary Real, is the global reserve currency. Whatever part of the world you're in right now, it's safe to assume he means you owe him some.
Wow, you're a genius. Yes, that's right. Money. You...
Who does that clown think he is? Arrest him!
ネクタイうるせえ。
Let's see. 3 nights at a tariff of 20 real comes to 60 real. Then there's the window you annihilated. The hole in the window was the first thing I saw when I came to work. So don't try to tell me you didn't. That will be 40 real in damages.
窓ガラスも寄って40リアル。
Another thing you've annihilated is half the bar. You've run a tab of 30 real. Actually, more, but we'll round it down to 30 for your hard work maintaining the stability and order of Revachol. That's 60 plus 40 plus 30 equals 130 real. And yes, real is still money. What are you, a philosopher? Money is what grown-up people use to pay for things. Things like this hostel room or 8 bottles of potent blend and 9 packs of Royal Extra. We use it for everything, really. Are you serious? From your work? I don't know. You can take bribes, I guess. I'm sorry. I don't think cops can take bribes.
何かチェック入ったな。完了。あ、事情聴取か。なんで完了になったんだ。あ、ワイドパインズの代表でしょ。
Some do take recompense, but only to survive.
For survival, to pay me. Unless you want to become a hobo. Do you want to become a hobo? There's nowhere else to stay in Martinez, and it's a cold spring outside. If you run out of money, you die. It's like that for all of us. Me too. That's why I need you to pay me. I'm not an arsehole.
There's a shuffle of nylon as Lieutenant Kitsuragi. That's cop 4. I haven't offered to pay because I don't have any money either.
I'm sorry, but he has to pay. I can't let him stay here any longer if he doesn't. If he doesn't have the money by...
Officer, maybe you are better off working this from home for now. You live in Jamrock, right? It's not that far away.
これが
Officer, you really need...
Good luck.
By the way, where is home? But you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. In time or space? That doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money. You can try. Run some addresses in your head when you get the time. Maybe a street or an apartment will appear.
孤独な家なき子。ああ、これ失敗したんじゃねえかな。ちょっとロードしとくか。脅したいんだよね。脅すには逮捕するかな。あ、えらいとこまで飛んだな。 セーブしてなかったか。オートセーブは違う。ここだな。これオートセーブだもんな。どこからかな。この辺は全部終わってるかな。じゃあこっからかな。
A man. Could he be your...
Mr.
Yes.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 50. Right.
No, I...
Do you have her?
As a matter of fact,
You said you just...
What? Of my...
But you still...
Yes, I know.
I didn't
He probably means this is... His face expresses...
Behind... That's easy.
Does he want you to feel guilty? Or
I don't know who killed him. What are you, crazy? Of course. She went away.
have they not been telling you you're a cop?
Okay, you got me. She went away.
Thank you.
I asked an employee out. She didn't want to come, but felt obliged to. It was a bad idea. Now, good for you. Was there something else? No, I'm...
He's very animated all of a sudden.
I have 3 cafeterias I manage. 3. Why would I have a problem with you? You're a hero cop. Am I? Or did you ride in? You're right, you did. No, I haven't seen you around. I just...
Let's go.
Not so...
No one is saying...
Let's bail! Time to push the eject!
Oh, excuse...
The IIR, or Inter-Isolary Real, is...
Wow.
Who does that clown think he is? Arrest him!
Let's see. Another thing you've annihilated is half the bar. You've run a tab of 30 real. Actually, more. What are you, a philosopher? Money is what grown-up people use to pay. Are you serious?
Some do take recompense, but only...
If you run out of money, you die.
There's a shuffle. That's cop 4. I haven't offered to pay because I don't have any money.
これで脅すかな。
You can't arrest me. I haven't done anything.
Did someone order a vague, farcical reading of the law? More than one pops into your head.
But it's not inane. I just...
It is cruel of you. A man has been killed. File a request for compensation.
Okay, you'll only have to pay for the window and the drinks. That's 70. I'll get the rest from your stupid station. The ledger does. The ledger has a memory. The drinks are non-negotiable. There's no way your station will pay for them. Fine, I'll take it off the bill. You want to sleep in a post-apocalyptic shithole? Go ahead. But I'm not giving you another room.
30まで減らせると思ったんだけどな。
Don't thank me. You still owe me 30 for the drinks. If you don't have it by tonight...
That's enough now, sir. Good day.
By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank, and this place sure isn't it. But you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you, in time or space? That doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money. Entertain the thought when you get the time. Maybe being a hobo and a cop has its advantages.
さてレベルはまだ上がってないので、これ以上の内面化はできません。さていくら払えばいいのかな。
Can I help you? Yes, have you got it? For the drinks, 30 real.
よし、30
Like
リアルだな。
what? I was really enjoying... What thing? Yes, not the whole damn union, thank God. Just the nastiest and loudest... They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types. Think they're big shit. But they're good customers. They place...
He hates the Union, but grudgingly recognizes its power over him. So he's directing his frustration at you instead. Retaliate.
I don't. I'm simply providing a service, or really facilitating the offering of services to paying customers, and it doesn't matter.
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info. We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry, even striking men.
There are these things called days. You sleep between them. He's...
What are you, a cook now? That's none of your business. He wasn't pan-fried, he was lynched. What could the kitchen possibly... Fine, okay. The kitchen is closed until 1 p.m. because the cook is working. You can snoop... What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
Absolutely out.
You wait and see, cafeteria manager. Absolutely in the question. Your body is ready, sire.
Another thing. Great. Yes.
レベルが上がりましたので、フローケージを内面化。タスクが専用ブースに誰かいるのを確認しろ。おっとおっと、これかな。さて、ばあちゃんと話してみようか。
Hello again, sweetie. Yes, dear.
A paraplegic is someone with limited or no ability to use the lower half of their body.
That's quite all right.
There is no bitterness in her voice. She accepted the curiosity her condition inspires a long time ago.
特にないな。さてと、道具が必要なので、パトカー調べないとな。
Before you stands a vapor emanates from the large engine on the back of the vehicle. This must be the infernal machine that tore you from oblivion. In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a radio microphone on a hook, a pull-out toolbox under the seat, and the soft glow of the fuel preheated. A metallic drawer slides out from under the seat.
Take what you need, officer. It's going to be a long case. I'm not protective.
He's clearly a little protective of his tools. The pry bar feels nice and cold in your hand, useful for opening all sorts of doors and lids. The handles are long and sleek. Snap, snap, go the cutters in your hand. It's robust, weatherproof, and well-made. Police issue. Lets you see things in the dark you would otherwise miss. The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. Preheater gauge cast. As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks
There's no use pressing the heat button. It won't start without the ignition key.
Translation. We're not going any alternative translation. Don't even think you can drive my MC. The white suede feels luxurious under the touch, and the metal clutch handle so very familiar.
一旦セーブしたい。で、シンディに連絡するのと、身分証明書なくしたことを連絡するのと、バールかな、まずは。
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone. The frequency tableau lights up, and the soft purr of electrical kittens. Radio waves cast far and wide.
This is Precinct 57. Hello, Lieutenant. How may I assist you?
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the 41st Precinct here. I'm putting him on.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Of course. What is her number, officer?
Yes, hold on. Her number is 005 1944 298.
Received. Hold on, officer.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi slowly begins to tap a little rhythm.
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika on the line for you. Yes, hello? Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you?
You can hear resentment in her tone. She's not thrilled to be talking to you again.
No, not me. What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the union already knew about the court. No one calls the police. The union would get angry. You know, what the union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here.
組合が幅を利かせてるんだよね。
I didn't want to get in trouble with the others.
Push her further. Show her the error. No, don't push her. It sounds as if she's about to cry.
敬意と共感とで話が変わってくるな。
The other people who live around here. Local people,
Her voice is resigned and weak.
面倒に巻き
You
込まれ
don't
たく
live
なかっ
here. You don't understand. Squealing is frowned upon here. Everything is dealt with, well, by the union, internally.
組織に逆らったらここで生きていけないと。
Please, I just didn't want any trouble. I didn't know I had to report it. I thought someone would take him down eventually.
You can almost hear the girl getting smaller on the other end of the line until she almost
No. I honestly don't know.
通報したのは結局誰
It
かわ
was
からない
someone
と。
else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
Okay. You mean why did I leave the bar? Honestly, I'm not really comfortable discussing it with you, sir.
Why not?
なぜだ
Let's just say I left because I needed to get away from someone. You know whom?
You think you hear a sliver of accusation in her words. Don't be paranoid. She's obviously talking about someone else, not you.
I really don't want to talk about this. Let's just forget about this, okay? What? No, why would you even think that? Please, don't bring Gart into this. It's none of your... I already said I don't want to talk about this. You're messing everything up again. You mean why...
Why not?
Let's just... You know whom?
You think you hear a sliver of... Don't be paranoid. She's obviously talking about someone else, not you.
意志力が失敗してるんだよね。
I really don't want to talk about this. Let's just forget about this, okay? What? No, why would you even think that? Please, don't bring Gart in. I already said I don't want to talk about...
聞けないか。
I do hope so.
いや。
Please, don't call me again. Bye.
聞けるか?
Yes, you have obviously done something to upset her.
I'm not mad, it's just... You were so drunk and so emotional all the time, and then the skua thing happened. The stuffed bird, the great skua. You threw it against the wall while screaming, "Fuck that." I think you said it had been giving you shit ever since you got there. It was a pretty bird, there since I started working in whirling. I really liked her.
There's genuine sadness in her voice.
Yes, obviously. You were the worst client. I've had sailors fighting, union guys grabbing my ass, kids stealing booze. Once a guy was glued to the karaoke machine every night for... Well, you were worse than all of them. Even about little things like not turning down the volume at 3 a.m. We go on, by the OO. I can't listen to it anymore. You've turned it into a parody. To hell with that song. Then there was your room. Your project. An experiment to see how bad it can get in there.
実験なんだ.
I tried to send the cleaner, but you wouldn't let me. Threatened to make me understand. I had no idea what you meant, and I don't want to know. And then you screamed something about being the most boring person alive and how everyone leaves you because you're just so boring. And then I had to deal with your toilet. The one you clogged with police documents, causing water damage downstairs in the kitchen.
書類?
I won't even mention you waving your gun around, harassing customers, threatening to sing karaoke, threatening to kill you. The ones I had to wrench out of your toilet. Damn it, I don't remember what I did to your damn papers. I don't remember every little thing. Especially when there's a hurricane loose. It's your fault for losing them, not mine.
Something in you wants to immediately forget about this, as if there was a reason you threw them away.
No, you really weren't. You were simply the worst. God, I knew I shouldn't have brought it up. Just try not to call me again, and let's pretend it never happened. Wait, really? No, this is absolutely not true. I like Gart. I really do.
相思相愛じゃん.
No, I was actually flattered. I've always liked him. It was just that...
There's a pause. You can almost see her on the other side.
I didn't know what to say to him later. Then you came and destroyed the place. So I left without explaining.
I
should have told him. Okay, but please don't mess it up. Please don't take out your gun or something. All sorts of things. From disco, rock too. Which one would that be? Sad? I think the one you mean is the smallest church in San Sanj. Butchered that right up.
一番小さな教会.
Interesting. You still have to find it, however.
ガルテと話せ。お、実質的激化系がいったな。
You hear a sigh of relief on the other end of.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
41文書。
Just a second, officer.
10-2, 10-5. This
A scrawny old man sits in a dusty cubicle, smoking, with a large white rectangle sewn on his vest. In front of him is a box shaped. The man uses relay code. You got this. You're a cop, and cops know.
10-4, message received. 10-5, relay message. What's your status? Over. 10-18, state your message, sir.
紛失。
10-9, over. 10-4, message received. This is a very serious situation. I need to 10-22 the captain. Over.
1022ってなんだ？
Is it him? What does he want?
Says he lost his badge and needs to report it.
He what? He lost his badge? Who lost his badge? Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think?
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
Dick Mullen is not your name. It's the name of a fictional detective who would not lose his badge. Defend yourself. Immediately. They're laughing at you.
弁明はしない。
10-4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your misplaced badge. Over.
Fuck me. Mac, come here. You've got to hear.
What's going on?
Super Cop here lost his badge.
He lost his what now? His badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
10-9, come again. I didn't get that. Over.
New heights even for Captain Sober.
Ask him. Ask him if he's lost his gun too.
Sergeant Orson wants to know if you lost your gun too.
Check your pockets. Check your... Holy fuck. Okay, it's gone.
Don't sweat it, Bratan. You don't need a gun to have fun. We can still have fun.
10-9, come in, officer. Did you get my question? We were wondering about your gun. Over.
Lying over the phone? It's easy. Just say it like it's...
He says he didn't.
Thank God for that. That would have been a nightmare. I don't even want to imagine losing his badge is bad enough. Tell him to find it and fast.
We're all glad to hear you've not lost your gun, officer. You need further assistance? Over. 10-4, I hear you. I don't have the authority.
What does he want now?
He's asking for money.
Is he fucking kid?
I don't think he is.
Don't give that asshole anything.
All right. That's a negative on the additional funds, sir. Over.
しかし金なし。
He says it's important.
He isn't getting a rent.
Request denied, sir. Over. Anything else, sir? Over.
個人情報。
Okay, 10-4, sir.
Wait. Before you say anything stupid, think it through. You're going to be looking at a straitjacket if you tell everyone you lost your memory. Be smart about this. Ask...
10-4, sir. I'm not hearing your question. That's a negative, sir. I got a 10-12. Visitors present here. Over.
やめとこうか。
Understood, sir. Over. Roger that. 10-10.
18 kilometers to the south, in the 41st Precinct's relay booth, a small crowd has gathered. The small room is filled with cigarette smoke, a buzz with laughter.
What is going on here? Did something happen?
What happened is my partner made contact, and it's not good. He's lost his badge. He seemed
Mac, the torso Torson, is finger-fucking his fist, laughing.
Yeah, Mullen was fucked, all right.
Yeah, Mac's right. This was some gnarly shit there. I mean...
Enough! None of this is funny. It's fucking sad. That's what it is.
We must help him.
Yeah? How do you fucking plan to do that?
I just know we can't give up on him when he's at his...
Mac, man the door. You know what he told me? I don't want to get better. I want to get worse. This shit does not leave this room. Not a word of this to the captain.
I guess I can hold off the report for a few days.
Good. Okay, everybody. Nothing but a prank call here.
Far north, on the other side of the motorway, the officer quietly hunches with his hand in the motor carriage.
これ何言ってるか全然わかんねえよ。
Actual art degree. Trite, contrived, mediocre, milquetoast, amateurish, infantile,
手と目の強調がマイナス、
to conformism,
概念化が、
a
プラ
affront
ス、
to humanity, war crime,
経験値プラス
should
10。
literally be tried for.
でかいね。処理追加資金を請求したのは失敗。バッジを見つけ出すのと銃の方と、報告が OK。
Yes?
Oh.
What do you want to know? Maybe you can tell me what you do know to help me narrow it down a bit. Do you want me to brief you? 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for... During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should... A security guard or worker of some sort hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth.
身元も分かってない。
They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that. That's us, the Revachol Citizens Militia. We're the police in this city.
市民団、市民軍、軍というのの
The
警官か。
RCM, or the Revachol Citizen Militia, is the police force you and him are part of. A self-organized peace corps of the occupied city of Revachol. The RCM operates within a legal twilight, yet its authority is rarely questioned. It's super useful to know this.
権限を有効活用しようと。
That's right.
シークレットタスクでしたか。
I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
正面飛ばしっこ競争。
His disdain is clear. This man would not use such an expression otherwise.
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it. It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask me after we've inspected the victim.
41部署と57番所で間で 正面飛ばし競争遺体の予備検知が済んだらこれについて
Later.
後でだ。
Was there anything else you wanted to know about the case?
奇怪な事件。怪奇か。
It's not a particularly mysterious case. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that. I'm relieved that you agree.
He is glad and surprised to see an officer who can appreciate the less than spectacular.
Do you know the feeling when you've begun filling in a crossword, but some of your answers don't quite seem to fit? That's the feeling I have right now, for some reason. It will turn into quite the puzzle yet, I'm afraid. Good.
No response. He's having trouble processing it, believing it even.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your personal affairs?
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
Fine. We should get through this day first. Off hours begin at 9 p.m. If you're still having trouble then, I can give you an orientation. Really? You look fine to me. This psychodrama is unbecoming of...
Clearly, he prefers to think you're malingering. He cannot fathom that anyone could drink so much as to retroactively erase their...
Then you should consider seeking medical attention. You can use the radio in my kinema to call your station's Lazareth. Was there anything else you... Me? I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation. That's a fair point. All right, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know?
That's correct. You feel a slight urge to put the lieutenant down for this, but you can't quite muster enough testosterone.
Are they? They are mostly just cumbersome.
You could use a good, normal pair yourself.
That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. So was my grandmother, but from my mother's side. It's not an interesting topic. It's a part of the world, officer. A geopolitical entity, and a geographic division.
Seoul is a protectionist, isolationist, pan-Isolari state west of the Insulindian Isola. Actually, it's quite interesting. Some would even say...
You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never met either one of my grandparents, and I've never been to Seoul. I'm a regular Revachelier. No.
それは秘密は知りたくないわな。
What do you mean? I have no idea what you're talking about.
The lieutenant's conceptualization skills must be rather rudimentary. The lieutenant is a police officer of the old school. His concerns are material and extra. But this isn't an old school case.
So what? That makes you, for real detective work, nothing beat.
The lieutenant produces his small blue notebook, and that's where his conversations with himself take. We all have our different mediums. His is written.
Good. Let's change the subject.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone,
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Lazarus.
It will take just a moment, officer.
Her voices fade out.
Gottlieb, what do you want?
He's carelessly chewing on a piece of hard candy.
Oh, it's you. Yes, there's no end to the misfortunes fate has seen fit to rain upon me. Who? You are? You lost your human visage a while back. Now let's get on with it. I've got more important things to do. With all the damage you've been dealing yourself with drugs and alcohol, I'm not surprised.
There is no surprise in his voice. Only careless.
What else? I'm not a brain doctor. Look on the bright side. You've got a whole new life now.
It's hard to say if he doesn't believe you or doesn't care.
Hard to tell exactly what it was over the phone. Could be a combination. Or, actually, it could be both, given your profile. Yep. Yes, probably.
You're detecting very little in the way of empathy.
Cut down on the drinking, pal. In fact, cut off the drink.
Abstinence could have immediate positive effects on your health.
What? You want me to do blood work for you again? Tell you just how bad things really are across the board? You want another rundown of everything collapsing inside your body?
血液検査しかできないんか、お
You
前は。
want the real, honest to God truth? Stop drinking? And no, I don't want to hear a political commentary on the topic. In fact,
It's not fucking cryo-acta latte.
誰か出て
It's
きた。
super glue, Doc.
Anything else I can help you with, officer? 57's over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of stairs.
とりあえずレベルアップ、タスクが11音割りに打ち合わせ、君に連絡。警察クソくれ。豚小屋に帰れ。
The RCM in Martinez. What can I help you with? We don't see a lot of police around here, that's all.
そっか。
Of course. What can I help you with? Excuse me?
She's uncomfortable. Maybe you should drop this line of questioning.
Oh. Well, I didn't write it there. I'm just sitting here. I don't know anything about that either.
Pig is a widely used term for members of the police.
No need to worry. We are not saying you.
Okay. Well, I didn't. Me? I am just a gardener. I am working. I have a greenhouse in the yard there. I've been trying to get some work done.
ああ、なるほど。死体がある
There's
から。
discomfort. She stops mid-sentence.
Well, as you probably know.
Don't worry, miss. We are here to clean it up.
Thank you. My head is about to explode from all the salts I've had to inhale.
塩を嗅ぎすぎて頭が割れそう
Of。course. I won't hold you back.
Her gloves. You get the feeling that you need them. You have a dead body to deal.
Sure. Keep them.
お
I have
ー、
another
もらっ
pair.
た。 手さばきプラス基本的に共感論理と修辞学と、内陸帝国のやつかな。こっちは5だからこっち1入れとくか。レベルアップしてるのは一つだけかな。とりあえず置いとくか。あれで失敗しないといけないんだよな。どうしよう、先に失敗しとくか。おお、ぶら下がってる。
The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them does not look human. You seem to be holding your breath. A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in even through your clenched nostrils.
さて、これを失敗。
The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and more familiar than anything you'd...
で、吐いて。なかなかリアルな音だ。
You feel a great force ringing from your stomach, until a pool of vomit lies under your feet, and your throat stings from the stomach acid.
It's okay. Happens to everyone. Keep it. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head. If you can handle the headache, some officers use it to deal with cadaverine odor. If you can handle the headache, some officers use it to deal with cadaverine odor. That young woman, the gardener, mentioned she used salts for the smell.
塩が
If she doesn't have any, there might be some in the fridge store near.
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow you to retry them.
あと塩持ってくりゃいいのかな。ボルティエ。庭しか振ってから塩を回収。
It's raining again. It was clear just an hour ago. Sure, I'm done with them. Go easy on that stuff.
塩。で、この状態でもう一回チャレンジして失敗。
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The ammonia only makes it worse. The combination forces tears out of your duct. The second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
How does the wind right now?
The weight is reassuring, like a...
I've seen strong men turn themselves inside out for hours. You are facing tough odds here. I've seen captains puke their guts out, then drive to the station. I think I've lost my sense of...
A white lie.
Not being hungover helps too. That's probably a good idea. You need to get your shit together. We should go talk to the locals. Find something else to do while the wind changes. It's pretty...
You've gained a thought. When this dialogue is over, go to your thought cabinet.
Give it half an hour. Get yourself together. Then come back and have another go.
で、残しといてよかったな。クソ圧縮機。で、内面化できてないから、アンロック。で、あ、違う。ああ、びっくりした。さて、これが
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, whirling in rags. There's something in there, not necessarily connected to the case, but still. The body is downwind from here. Maybe you prefer the smell of garbage to the smell of death.
Trash, food waste from the cafeteria. They lock these containers to keep the derelicts from flocking in. Could be evidence too. What do you mean, feel? We could try using a pry bar, the one you took from my motor carriage, or... We might want to ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags. He probably has one. And he also has...
おお、非常に低いぞ。一旦立ち去ろうか。で、内面化成功したのが未体験。
Jamais vu, the opposite of déjà vu. Not already seen, but never seen.
オーブを選択するたびに1上昇。いいね。さて、低すぎるんだけど、どうしよっか。で、ここも開けときたいんだよね。 あっちにオーブが行かないな。オーブっつうかあれが行かないな。廃物入れろ、開けろ。ガルテルが鍵を持ってる。で、ここ開けるから
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material eaten out.
ロードしまくるか。
Because it's nice.
あーくそ。ここを開けないと雇用主に行かないんだよね。
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material. Because
他に生き方があるんだけど、他のやり方やるとその後の展開で不利になるんだよね。
An inconspicuous pile of because it's nice and orderly. Well,
まあ卑怯なんだろうけど、ここは超えたきたいな。2桁なんだからなんとか言ってくれ。
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing because it's nice and an inconspicuous pile of the roofing material eternite. Because it's
11が出たね。すげえ。
an inconspicuous pile of the because it's nice and an inconspicuous pile of the roofing material because it's
無理じゃね。
an inconspicuous pile of the roofing material eternite. Because it's not
ダメだね。この後の警察のコートもまで取りたいんだよね。
an inconspicuous pile of the because
Oh,
there's a
so-
secret. There it is. You see a shabby little door.
ああ、よかったよかった。
What is this then? A tool shed?
で、次が絶対失敗しちゃうんだよね。
Be still, my beating heart. The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. There's a good vague way to ask where he stands on drug use. Professionally, I mean.
Perhaps not. This is below our pay grade, detective. See that ladder there? It's probably another way into the industrial harbor, no? A secret path.
で、あれですわ。ああ、じゃあ。絵はがき。で、ここを飛ばなきゃいけないんですよ。
Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here.
Yes, it's probably yours. It bears the RCM insignia, and you have a habit of being careless. You could probably make the jump.
ただここジャンプしちゃったら多分出れないんだよ、帰れないんだよね。
The wind is aggressive up here. The lieutenant looks at the look in his eyes is a mix of the engineer-like interest and the wonder of a 6-year-old seeing a. His eyes trace the crane's contour.
Yes, we were in the middle of something. Your cloak. The cloak? I do think it... Well, it doesn't seem too dangerous.
The cloak looks like a bag of goodies floating in the wind. Who knows what its pockets may hide?
What are we doing? We're awfully close to... Or it could be that we are just exploring.
He's thinking you've forgotten where you are again.
ちょっと一旦金取りに行くか。あいつとも話さなきゃいけないしね。どういうタイミングでオートセーブが入るんだろうな。で、ここのチェックだけでもしとくかな。この人たち来たか。本屋さんの地下もちょっとあれなんだよね。 よいしょ。海軍コート。暗示がプラス、薄命がマイナス。薄命、これか。肉体に従え、人々を脅かせ。ただ今つけてる上着は、団結心。薄命がマイナスになりましたと。マグネシウム。で、よいしょ。お金ちょうだい。
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy. Look at that lady. Take a gander. Why, yes. Tucked away under that sturdy green raincoat, almost while dull orange pearls hang. These are the kind eyes of the rich man that seem to say everything is possible. Within reason. Now look at you, you misery-clad simian. You're poor, poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too... You think your little communism... Oh God, the lieutenant is here too. Do not dishonor the force.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
Voila, you're doing it.
Okay.
Of course. How much do you need?
She's surprisingly nonchalant about this. Could it be that she
130じゃなくなったな。
that she's letting on?
That's a reasonable sum. Not too...
She removes a few notes and hands them to you. Whoa, whoa! Did you see how easy that was? Ask her for more. Toot toot, train to Moneytown. Can you eat honor?
So, I hope I didn't just bribe you, officer. It may not be technically illegal under the Emergency Act, but still.
You're right, man, that donations are permitted under the emergency.
Which he most certainly will do. Now, how else can I help the RCM today, besides supplementing its salaries? More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
A strange coldness comes over you. The doubt is fully formed in your head. The alien feeling persists, yet something's still missing. You have finished mulling over the jamais vu thought, but your conceptualization skills are not nuanced enough to make sense of it.
いやー、疑念化にもう入れないぞ。
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know.
いやー、ロードしよっか。まさか失敗するとは思わなかったな。
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Is what you want? Look at that lady. Why, yes. While dull, these are the kind eyes of the rich man, within reason. Now look at you. You're poor. Poor as bull. You think you're... Oh, God.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate.
Voila. You're doing it.
Of course.
She's surprisingly nonchalant.
That's a reason.
She removes. Whoa, whoa. Did you... Can you...
So, I hope I didn't just bribe you, officer.
You're right, ma'am.
Which he most certainly will do. Now, how... More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
プラス10人もらっといて。
What
失敗
is
するとか。
all of this?
What world?
The camera of her mind glides over the surface of the water.
Great bodies of water. Forests covered... There is a term of endearment they coined for it. In the DeLorean century. When humanity was high... Elysium.
エリジウムが出てきたな。
It does. There are those... A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the Mesk petro-fascists. Oh, you want a picture of the world? There is no complete set yet, dear. They're having some trouble reaching orbit. Great things are difficult to achieve. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside. We used to think it was a sphere, but that is beginning to look less and less likely by the day. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids, but the ORG nations have been launching weather...
ORG. Occident Revershol-Grad.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the... Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface. There are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago. They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still I am sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. But this is one of the greatest questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together, it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together. You have misimagined it. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. See? Everyone finds something worth holding.
Suddenly, you're conscious of yourself standing there, on whatever this or... The lieutenant observes you both, silently. He adjusts his glasses.
The Pale is not, technically speaking.
Yes. Also, I think we've had enough excitement for today. Remember, we have a cadaver to it.
His voice is low, but firm. All
Of course, Lieutenant. Let's try something else.
Ma'am, remember you are...
The Lieutenant's right. Let's change
ああ、
topics.
なるほど。キムがいなくなってからか。
What do you want to know? Anything.
This is not going to happen with the lieutenant present, unless you can convince him to step aside.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know.
現実世界についてのお話。チェック入れてみるか。この人博識だからな。
You're back. Good. What can I... More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead.
Good idea. Just ask him.
Fine.
See? What can he do? You're a grown man.
何が増えた？あ、圧縮が終わったか。
Are you sure you're sure? Your colleague seemed adamant. Okay. The Pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, Detective.
イソラってなんだよ。
Isola is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the Pale. Also, isolation. Mundi, Seol, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insulinde. An oceanic Isola. It comprises mostly of water. Muindi is the largest, Katla the coldest, Insulinde the bluest. What can I say? Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The Pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness.
敵なの?
No, Detective. We're safe. It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north, and even more to the south, east, and west. You...
As your gaze instinctively turns north, a small black pit opens up in your stomach.
Yes. That is enough. An uproar of matter, darling. Rising into the Pale. Rolling. Evaporating even. A great... Imagine a grey coronal mist. Cold vapour, marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism. The most disco thing you will ever see.
極端に難しい話になってきたぞ。
It's difficult to describe, or even measure. Something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, linguistic.
ただでさえ政治的な話が絡んでめんどくさいのに精神的な話まで言及してきたな。これつくづく思うんだけど、本当実況に向かないゲームだな。個人的に楽しむだけのゲームだな。
The further into Pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension, right down to the mathematical. Numbers stop working. No one has yet passed the number barrier. Oh, it is so difficult for us. It is possible to force dimensions on the Pale. In modern times, we can even compress its lat, but it is still hard for humans to navigate the Pale without getting lost. Or having our minds damaged. Extensively. Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that Pale somehow consists of... They call it the blend over of the self. The Pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology. Maybe history even...
Who says and who argues?
The logical positivists say, the dialectical materialists argue.
Oof.
It feels terrible. Absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travellers to 6...
It's more for her. Way more.
No, nameless detective of the citizens' militia. I am a member of the entreprenetic business class.
I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of Pale transit annually. Up to my gills, officer. Entreponetics is the scientific study of the Pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of Grad. The study of the Pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Pericarnassians called it the Western Plain.
They had not traveled the entire circumference of the Pericarnassian Super E-Solar. It was not merely in the west, it was everywhere, even then, surrounding them.
There are signs of pre-modern crossings. Successful navigation of the Pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation. Nothing. We remain powerless before the Pale. The only real advance in Pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic hybrid airships, Detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended. Once you've crossed from near... In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end. If we throw them precisely. Then they don't.
Gone, like a skipping stone beneath the surface.
The Pale outweighs reality 2 to 1. There is more Pale than there is matter. What do you think, Detective? Oh no, Detective. It's not. One of the few measurable effects of the Pale. An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the Pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists. Most people, and indeed most private and government sector organizations, entire civilizations and religions even, find handy ways to ignore. I suggest you do the same. Yes, sweet reality. Is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything? Then tell me, what do you think of the Pale?
Hmm. これはどれも正解で不正解でような気がするな。
You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective. If you don't know even this, then... I hope so. I truly do. If I may suggest, hold on to your colleague, Kit.
Some of that assurance is meant for herself, as much as it's meant for you.
You have me. I will assist you in any way I can, even if we have to do it one basic term at a time.
Good. You have not passed out from it. Perhaps I worried for nothing. Are we still on the reality lowdown, or should we do actual police work now?
Good luck, detectives.
Volumetric ship compressor.
さて、草式が OK だったぞ。
Bizarre scientific
ボーナスが
news
すごいんだよね。
from
耐久
West
力
today,
のスキルチェック
where
すべて
a
アンロ
police
ックぶりと、
officer's shit has
学
been
習条件が4に増
observed at
加。
a pressure of around.
素晴らしい。このマップがよくわかんないんだよね。 さて、ここまで来たから本屋さんの地下行こうか。いろいろあるな。
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise. An endless variety of source books, lore books. There's also a large hardbound tome. Books in a board game section? Who wants to read books? There's a box that says Wirral 3rd edition mega setting supplements module. That price is steep, but then it's the 3rd edition mega setting supplement, so it makes sense.
Wonderful board games, sir. Rowbritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can...
Who are you going to play board games with? Do you have friends or family? It certainly feels like whatever you are will die with you.
気力が下がった。
Friends are technically like family. For playing with friends, I'd recommend suzerainty. It's a civilized... Lousy auras there. No, role-playing games are popular among those types. I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. That they have rituals where they try to summon entities. Highly immoral.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely rows and rows of Heimdall men blur your vision. Maybe 100. Man from Heimdall and the sages at not even close. Man from Heimdall in hell. Man from Heimdall and the forest of slaves. Man from Heimdall under the lake. Man from Heimdall. Heimdall burning. There's even the trial of death.
Oh, man from Heimdall. Blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives. All, what does it matter? They're all the same. However, the customer is... If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Heimdallaman. The man from Heimdall. It's supposed to be a good...
Nothing of interest. Only silence and the cosmic...
ここしかチェック入らねえな。 ちょっとここのマップを先に見ていくか。なんだこ
れ。These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series.
Oh, crime, robberies, murders. You're a police officer, apparently.
Crime fiction is a disgrace. These books greatly overstate the What's more, they completely, not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. You see Dick Mullen on the job. Get me Mullen. The killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the murder house. The final case of owner. Turns out he fated to solve a case. Yes, there's also tragedy calls for Dick Mullen. After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen? Your attempt to grasp at the answer fails. It seems the plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People. Browsing through all the books with all, suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, chronicles the romance between two of the finest, next to Irv's life story. Next to that, Revacholian radio personality.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free.
She understands she has erred against the customer and immediately corrects course.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are Brad. I would say... the greatest innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, a very influential historical figure. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system. Certainly, it's prudent for a person to have at least an...
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow.
読んだらなんかあんのかな?
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and this large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation: Ozon, Laurentide, Fas Alamir, archipelagos, North Arcade Island, disintegrating into mathematics. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou, in a bookstore. It's you. You can, on Caillou, Revachol, a single black star, on Ozon, lost little pearls of light, tiny fires. 850 million people live on these little dots, an oceanic world of... The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into connections to other worlds. Words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know 850 million people live on these tiny dots. An oceanic world of culture and commerce, torn apart. The north coast of a verdant island is shattered. To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stellamar, Hudon. It's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. You feel you're just west of Coal City, somewhere above Jamrock and close to Coal City. It's not really a map. It's a tour. Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful.
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And they're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. That old thing? It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago.
The place does not look like a successful tourist trap, does it?
They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business.
買わずに盗む。地図買っとこうか。 0.9、73あるからこれは買っとこうか。
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
Okay. レベル上げ。まずは教官からいっとこうか。おー、出てきたね、マップ。不可能。不可能。今すぐ挑戦可能って、これか。どうやって挑戦するんだ？あ、スキルチェックがあるってことか。スキルチェックがあることを言ってるのね。なるほど。
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. Amidst the various books, you find these three things are the point of the book, and many others on this shelf. It serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to, and wholeness, unity, balance. When it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place. The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. There's even a chapter on the ancient Seraïs tradition of using duck gallbladder. This is just mundane garbage. What's even paranatural about this?
Sir, please, no browsing. I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door.
The throbbing in your head increases with every... Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a small green book becomes apparent. The title of it reads, Medicinal Purposes of the Pale. The book contains descriptions of various pseudoscientific therapies, alternative medicines, and for example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body with a venik or hand broom, made from the leafy twigs of a young birch tree from the near Pale. It is, and good for the circulation too. It also recommends consuming distilled spirits like vodka or whiskey that have been aged in the Pale. Readers are instructed to, among other benefits, it is alleged to restore a damaged liver to perfect health. That seems improbable.
それは無理があるのでは。
For general health and well-being, readers are encouraged to take regular strolls. These strolls promise to cleanse the mind of worries and the body of toxins, especially if the perambulate. This is exactly what you need. Androgenetic nudism? That's insane. That's beyond dangerous. There's an entire section devoted to cures for men who are struggling to perform their marital obligations.
夫婦の営みを苦戦している男たちを直す。
You close the book and return it to its place on the shelf.
買っとこう。
Please, something about that book does seem to have spoken to you. Well, I hope it contains what you're looking for.
ちょっと待って、セーブしよう。先にインタラクトしたら時間が過ぎちゃう可能性があるからな。今14時22分。
The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez, with directions to appropriately your finger moves through the various streets, across Rue de Saint Ghislain, finally coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently standing. Although,
for a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the map tab.
Medicinal purposes of the pearl. The cover of this heavy tome. Flipping through the book, you find a number of sections on the general benefits of the pearl. A large pharmacopoeia makes up nearly half of the book. You come across the following explanation. While modern pharmacopoeia are continually updated, it's all quackery, in other words. Finally, something to calm the angry spirits that have been plaguing you. It seems to contain descriptions of the medicinal properties of various ingredients that may be gathered from the pearl, as well as instructions for producing a variety of... There's nothing in here that speaks to hangovers directly. However, while browsing through the various descriptions, you become convinced that you could assemble something from the ingredients list. First, you need to choose a base ingredient. Next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient with an appropriate vehicle. Lastly, is there anything else you'd like to add? The ginger and aloe vera make this poultice ideal for the treatment of arthritis. It won't do anything for your hangover, though. Would you like to try again? Very well. First, next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient. Lastly, is there anything else you'd... The ginger root will help with the nausea, and the birch bark tea will help you flush out the toxins. The ginseng, the very thought of this tea causes your muscles to relax and your mind to clear. You're more present and in control than you were a moment ago. You close the book and find yourself staring at the familiar cover one. Flipping through the book, you find a number of sections on the... You come across the following it's all quackery. Finally, it seems to contain descriptions of the medicinal properties. What you're describing is booze. There are a number of zeolite tonics that promise. The tome seems to get heavier with every passing minute.
アイテムとしては特異なし。
The 15th Indo tribe. Because there was. The 15th Indo tribe was comprised of 8 kids.
さて、時間が無駄に過ぎてったな。いやー、ちょっと戻そうか。これはね、時間がもったいない。
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only. Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? The book books are all you care about.
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you, urging you to buy more books. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become. You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you. This is a traditional Seminese ward, meant to provide protection against ill luck, bad dreams, curses. Inhabitants of Ile de Fantôme. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut.
ちょっと後で開けてみよう。
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Fate. Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space. I am the proudest owner of...
She has fine-tuned her voice to find the most welcoming approach for attracting new customers. It doesn't work.
Goodness, you were already doing good, browsing the shelves. Why'd you stop? Don't you feel compelled? Everything is on the shelves. Take a look.
She's attempting to mentally direct you towards the shelves. She only wants you to buy the goods. She doesn't care about the books.
Truth be told, not really. My sister brings in most of the goods, but you don't learn about the important things in life from fabricated stories. The truth is available if you just know where to look. And you have to open and free your mind to understand.
She smiles and nods.
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post, doing her job like a proper girl?
本当向かないなこれ。
Wonderful. Did you talk to her? Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after...
Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she lured you into the store.
My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. Mind your own business, sir.
Denial is the way she copes with criticism.
You must be kidding. That's good, sir. What does a young child do with money anyway? No.
Such criminal behavior would not happen in more developed countries.
Those countries will realize they've raised a lazy and spoiled generation.
Yes, we've had quite enough fun here. Right.
The woman before you scans the store.
とりあえず今回はここまでにしといて、次はやらないかな。これ見ててもつまんねえだろうね。よし、ではお疲れ様でした。動画自体は消すかな。お疲れ様です。